Scott.
Media coverage of the coronavirus has created a public awareness, but also it has created anxieties and fears. There are many myths about this disease. Stacey Ann Gooden takes a look at what's true and what isn't.
What's fact and what's fiction? COVID-19 can live up to 3 days on a surface. Fiction. The reality is it's unclear how long the virus can survive once it settles. That's why disinfecting surfaces and frequent hand washing are essential. Coronavirus is more fatal than the flu. That's a fact. The World Health Organization says 3.4% COVID-19 cases have been fatal, whereas the influenza mortality rate is less than 1%. The Associated Press reports well over 80,000 confirmed cases in China, which makes us susceptible when buying goods from there. Fiction. If an infected person sneezes on an item, the virus won't survive a trip to the U.S. The virus only affects the elderly. Fiction. Even though seniors are more at risk, people of all ages can contract the virus. As temperatures get warmer, COVID-19 is less of a threat. That is a fact.
Scientists have studied these patterns that viruses, like the coronavirus, tend to have a lower risk of spread during the warmer months.
The coronavirus causes stress. That is also a fact.
Stress indeed. Joining us now to talk about that is psychotherapist Robi Ludwig, along with Doctors Dina and Anthony Santella. The doctors have talked about immune deficiencies as a contributing factor.
Right.
But stress, too, is also very relevant.
Yeah, and so what I'm recommending to a lot of my patients and people that I talk to on the air is self-care is so important. You want to eat right, sleep right, make sure that you feel socially connected, take care of yourself, because we're in this paradox, right? You want to take care of yourself, so you build up your emotional immune system and your physical immune system. And we know certain things that we can do and take control over that can keep us safer rather than not.
So you deal with patients, and what do you tell them about the anxieties of this whole thing?
That's right. So we've been spending a lot of time talking to patients about mental health well-being as well as physical well-being. So mental health well-being, we focus on stress reduction tactics, whether or not that's exercise, deep breathing, meditation. And often we also speak about diet as well. So there's many different supplements and nutrients that you can take in that are loaded in vitamin C as well as zinc. Things like selenium is very important that comes from mushrooms. Actually, recently there's been a product called AHCC coming out of Japan, which has been really important for helping with T-cell immunity support.
I think what makes this difficult is we're asking people to take action in times of uncertainty. This situation, as we all know, is rapidly emerging and evolving. And so, do I really want to do all that when what they said last week doesn't apply this week, where tomorrow they may tell me something different? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And that makes it tricky.
I think it's important, too, to stay positive, because we have the benefit of learning from other countries. We see what China is doing that works. We see what doesn't work so well. We have a way to identify the illness. And also, we know that it's not fatal in all cases. I think people hear coronavirus and with their anxiety think, oh, that equals death. Sometimes, yes, but there will be a lot of cases that people will have mild symptoms and will survive. So I think it's important to underscore the realities, because panic leads people to behave in ways that are not in their best interest.
Is part of it being oversaturated with information?
Such a great point. Great point. Yes,
That we
oversaturated.
read too much?
And rumors. And rumors that are everywhere. We were talking in the makeup room how Facebook, all of a sudden, everybody's an expert, whether they're, a hairdresser or a publicist, they're giving medical information.
There's just so much information, on the internet out there that are at our fingertips. And it's really important to talk to your healthcare professional or follow really important sources of information. The CDC, the WHO, information coming from Dr.
That's
Anthony
a good
Fauci.
idea. Go to the CDC
Absolutely.
website.
All you have to do is go coronavirus.gov, and it'll take you directly to the CDC website. That's where we should be getting our information. We should be following the science, not social media.
That's absolutely
true. And social media is designed to make us feel like everything's an emergency. So you want to go to the right sources and also give yourself a limit. You don't need to study this 24/7. You could look at it once a day for 30 minutes. Give yourself a time limit.
How do you explain this to young children?
Well, I think children respond to their parents' anxiety. So if you can present something in a very matter-of-fact way, allow them to ask you questions, and remind them that really kids with this particular virus are not so much in danger. So I think that's tremendously comforting.
Yeah, absolutely. And also within, schools, they're doing a lot of information about hand washing, teaching children the importance of hand washing is
What's
very
that website
important.
again?
Coronavirus.gov.
Coronavirus.
And it'll take you directly to the CDC website. Let me just add that
you get the facts right there.
Yes.
Age-appropriate, medically accurate information. You could be talking to a 5-year-old or a 95-year-old.
In the limited time we have, let me answer this. Have we seen bottom yet? Is this going to see its course, run its
You
course,
mean
and how
peak?
long?
We haven't
So
seen
I
peak.
think that we're on the way of seeing more cases as the disease starts to spread. As we start doing more testing, we're going to have a more adequate number of people who actually are testing positive. But as I said before, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I do believe that.
How long?
I think the length is unclear. We know that we're getting a lot of information out of Wuhan now, businesses reopening, people going back to their daily life very slowly. But of course, we have to be cautious, and every country is different. So we're
going
trying
to have to
do
be
the best we
prepared to
can.
be inconvenienced probably for March and April. And that's just the reality of it. The things like you mentioned earlier, Broadway closing down, schools moving to online, these are things that will get past.
Will the warmer temperatures have any impact?
So the thought is that most cold and viral seasons do better during the warmer the warmer temperatures, because we tend to be outside, we tend to be not isolated in a home where it's very easy to spread disease.
And
that
also
way.
stay socially connected. It's very important that we feel supported during this time.
Okay, Robi Ludwig, Dr. Dina Adremulam, and Dr. Anthony Santella, thank you so much.